So, hello and welcome everyone, I'm Insane and this is one of the reasons why I haven't been making music as of late. Aside some more normal life stuff like getting a job. But anyways, no music talking in this video, so sorry about that. But for everyone else, I'm going to show you a bit of what I've been doing with the Banished. I know that there are some subscribers that I have who have also been playing this game, and I know that they've been struggling with the gameplay a bit because of the starvation and everything like that. So anyways, let's move on. This is a city that I built. It's a third one I started even, and I got to over 1000 people actually in this one, which is pretty good achievement because it's actually the largest amount for the achievement that you can get. I mean, the achievement comes from 900 people, so I'm going over that even. And as you can see on the professions, I hope my mouse is actually being shown. Yeah, it should be shown. You can actually see that I have way over the amount of people that I actually need for the city now, which I guess it's because of the balancing of the game, because now I'm kind of past the point which, I mean, I should switch to another city now, which I'm actually doing currently. But anyways, let's see how I did it. I'm actually not going to load up through the different saves, but yeah, I started actually here. It's the difficulty is in normal, which meant that I had just a couple of seeds, the cabbage, which is in use here, and yeah, that's about it. Normal stockpile and everything like that, but it gets changed. So this is actually the starting spot. Here is the original storage barn, which I actually left because it was kind of useful, and yeah. So first of all, what I did was I designed the place actually. So first of all, I put this down, the market. I put this one down, the trading post, because I knew that I would use those. Then I put down these. So this is, no wait, let's see. But yeah, obviously these and these were paused. I didn't do them at the beginning. Yeah, then I put complexes here, which are wait, where is it? A forester's lodge, herbalist, gatherer, hunter, then woodcutter, and a stockpile and the storage barn, which came later or at the same point around. And I did the same over here and over here. And this, no, that was later. But yeah, oh, and this one also. So I had 4 of these complexes, which I started pretty much immediately building. I mean, the first thing that I did was to build, I guess they were these 5 houses first, or 6, for the families to get, and then build the fishing dock and make the first farm, so I get the food that I need. But then start building these, so I get the wood, I get the leather and food and medicine, and I get the firewood. Pretty quickly I also moved to this one. Wait, oh, the chapel is full. I need to make a new one. Okay, yeah, I pretty much immediately built this one also, so I get 2 of those, so I can provide the firewood needed for everyone and get excess amount of it. And once that got stable, I did the first quarry, and I planned out first mines, which are these 2. And actually, as you can see, the layout for the original place was very hard, so it was actually pretty difficult to start compared to the one I had before this, because there's just no room anywhere, so it's not an optimal place, but I kind of managed it. Yeah, so I expanded this, and I even got the town hall there. I built those the trading post and those. And then once I got out of room, I guess I expanded here first. Obviously this is now very late, so I did do these very early, but stuff like the chapel and everything like these have come later on, because the boarding house was actually probably one of the first things, and the blacksmith, so that I could provide a place for people when they came in. Yeah, then I did those. And then I started expanding in here. As you can see, I have so many graves. I'm in cemeteries here. And there's still not enough room. So a hospital, not needed now. And again, expanding, and then once I started getting the animals. Well, first I got the chickens, but they're kind of useless. But I did get them pretty early on, so I put them there. And then later on I got the cows and the sheep, so I put them a bit further on with as big fields as possible, because then you can maximize the production in them. Pretty good. But yeah, one thing to note is that you have to, well, actually now we can go into crafts. You have to make a plan for your food and every other resource. So what I did, at least until some point, was to make a multiplier. So when I had, what did I do it? I had like 1,000 food per 10 people. So 100 food per people, which is not anyway. I mean, I'm not doing it anymore because that was just filling the place up. Then I had one tool per person. Again, I haven't updated this because I kind of got a rapid jump, as you can see in there. And herbs was 10 per people. Clothes were 2 per people. Alcohol 10 per people. Coal was sort of a combination, so that when I got the how should I say it? I guess it was something like 5 per people, which was a good amount. Fuel, well, actually, first of logs, which was again 20 per people, I guess. And then fuel was again 20 per people plus the amount I need for trading, so it gets more. Stone and iron using the same kind of ideas, but they weren't that. I mean, these are not that critical. It's the tools and food and clothes which are critical, because if you don't have those, the people, well, okay, firewood is also good at the fuel, but if you don't have those, the people just stop working, so it kind of kills your place slowly but surely. So that's something you might want to avoid. Yeah, then it was just, I mean, once you get to about 100 people, no wait, not even that, 300 people, which I got around there. So as you can see, I got very slow building here until I got to 300. And at that point you can just steamroll it further, so you can just build more houses, you can build more places, just keep on building into farms which you need. As you can see, I have about 150 farmers only, and then you get about 30 of those, so when you combine all of them you have about 200 people making food, so it's 1/5 of people making that part, and even that isn't enough actually, so keep that in mind. Yeah, this was second to last expansion, and which was probably also a bad move, because this started causing starvation. As you can see here, they're a bit too far from everything, and yeah, this is a large map, so people tend to die. I'm sorry about that to people. This was actually the last place which I started. I mean, it was just manipulating the place, so I get a woodcutter, a woodcutter and a forester together. Again together. One more. Wait, this is actually empty. Here we have one more. Just a forester. And then I created 6 woodcutters more, so I get just insane amount of firewood creation. Because, as you can see here, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3 of trading posts, which are pretty much crucial, because as you can see here, well, that's not actually correct. I'd say that my use for a year is about 100,000, and my production is maybe 90,000. So there's 10,000 of not enough. So what I do here is to bring in, well, this one uses just firewood, but in the beginning it's pretty useful to use mutton and beef, because you get that from the sheep or the cows, which cost, the value is 3, which when you compare it to any other, normal food like beans or berries, stuff like that, these cost just 1. So you get, if you have 1,000 of beef here, you get 3,000 of any other food from there, and if you have 1,000 of mutton, you get 3,000 of other food there. So you can kind of pump it up, and once you get a good production of firewood, you can do the same with it, but it gets 4 value, so it's useful. I don't want to use any other, clothes and warm clothes and the steel tools are the best ones for the profit, but it's just sort of risky way of doing it, because if you use too many of those, it might actually kill off your own city, because they don't have the tools. But at some point, once the city started really running, so about 600 people, maybe a bit less, I did auto purchase, which uses stone and coal first, because those are the 2 stuff in the world which you can't replenish. So you get these nasty holes in here, which are pretty good space. Would be pretty good space for buildings, but now you can't use them because you put the quarry in there. So I've had 5 or 6 quarries in there, and then I've had maybe the same amount or a double of, about 8 of mines, which now they're just producing coal, because iron is not needed at this point. As you can see, I have an excess amount of iron, but coal production is still not kind of catching up too well. So as you can see, stone and coal are there first, so they buy them first, whenever possible. Then they get logs, because if I'm using firewood, one firewood costs, I get money or the value for 4, and the log costs just 2. So I get double the logs for the amount of firewood, which then I can switch to firewood, which again I get the double profit from it. So it's just win-win for me. So then I get the vegetables, which is actually something that I've done. Wait, if I lock these for all of these, so I have 1 food type as 4th one in the priority list, which I have rotated in these ones. So I have here I have vegetables, here I have fruits, and here I have grains. So this way I get I get everything possible there is for the food, which is needed for the health and the happiness. So after those are in, I put the iron, because that's again not replenishable, but it's not that useful, so it's not the first one in the line. And then I have the veggies and the grains or whatever is in there, and last but not least, alcohol. Oops, sorry. The alcohol is not that needed, because you can again produce it yourself, and it's pretty easy, because now I have the orchards doing the job here. So I have apple fields, so I have the apple tavern here, right next to them. So that's enough, and I have 5 taverns, I guess now. 5 chapels. Yeah, actually we can see here. No, 6 taverns. 3 blacksmiths, 4 tailors, which is a good amount. Keep in mind this is for 1,000 people around. I have 7 vendors or markets, I guess. Herbalists 7, foresters many, woodcutters even more. Hunters, I guess that's for 3 cabins, I think, which is, I mean, it's just a relic of the past mostly because you don't need it for really. I mean, I guess it's right now it's more for the meat, so I can trade it out. 1 fisherman for the achievement. Yeah. Caterers, which are pretty good. I mean, that's actually a hint, if you haven't played it a lot, is to use caterers huts as much as possible because the production they get is just so good. I mean, you get like 2,000 food every season, compared to the crop fields where you get just maybe 2,000 or something for 1 season a year. And as you can see in my farms, or with my farms, you can see that they are all 7 by 7 fields, because that way you can use just 1 farmer with all of them, and it's the sort of optimal amount for a field. And yeah, there's a bit of differentiating for it, but it's still the same amount, so it's just 1 farmer. And the good part is also that they are so small that you can actually fit so many of them, compared to maybe the 15-15, which kind of require more space. Ore carts are not that useful, so if you're running out of food, go with the farms because they give you more food. But if you want variety, or you're trying to get the alcohol in, then do ore carts. Okay, let's see the crafts because these are cool. As you can see, I got pretty big bombs. Here you can see, I mean, many people try to not use the nomads because they wreck your, the world. But that's why I have such a high amount of food here. So even if they come in and they might overeat, as you might say, I still have so much of reserve here. So I have like food for about 15 years now. So I have so much of time to fix it. I fixed that problem. So here you can see, I guess these are the first nomads here. First bump. I got a second one here, but I didn't take them because I wasn't sure if I could handle it. Another bump, another bump. And once you can see, I built the homes so slowly that I can limit the way. So now the amount is starting to decline. So I get the new nomads in, and I built the homes for them, so it starts to climb. But here I didn't build for a long time. New homes for a long time. So again, the amount of people starts to die. As you can see also here, there's not many childs anymore. So the nomads come in, and bump, I get to the same amount of people again. But again, no more homes, so they just die. But again, nomads, build more homes, nomads, build more homes, nomads. Actually stop making homes a bit, let's go down, and nomads come in, build more homes. Again, how many nomads did I get? Over 100 nomads in the last bunch, which took me over to 1000. I actually paused it there, because yeah, I don't know, it might decline again. Okay, 10, we have citizens. As you can see, I used maybe first 10 years with no school, but it's pretty useful to get it as soon as you can, because then you get benefits of the people getting more productive, so you get more value for a person, which is useful. Then you can also see every time I invite the nomads in. Oh, actually this might be because of the teacher dying, so the percent got low, but many of these drops are for the nomads because they are not civilized. So if you get the nomads, add them to stone cutters so you can kill the adults and you just get the children, which you can then teach. Food, as you can see, terror was the first drop. I guess it was for the nomads, but I had so much of time, so I didn't even get near the bottom. And then I made so many fields. I guess I did a lot of these parts that I could pump it up way to the limit that I had at that point. And then again here the same thing. I don't know why it actually declined that much, but I guess at that point I did the mega field that I call it. It's an extreme complex. I actually should maybe make should have made a market for these people, but oh well. Log production is actually something interesting because as you can see there's nothing at the beginning, but then I make the I guess I just completed more of these places here, so I get more of them, but then I made these, so then I started running out, so I just paused some of them and whoa, they come back. So nothing too special there. Oh, and also this is because I started building very much at this point. I just built so slowly up until this point that it wasn't a problem with the logs. Same you can see with the stone. I just didn't build for like 20 years or so. So then I started and whoo, it goes down and whoo again. Iron you can see it as that much because it's not used for the buildings so much, but it's used for the tools. So I guess that's why it's going down again. Firewood, as you can see, it's again going so low that I kind of stopped using it as trading material, so I started getting it back. Coal, not interesting. Tools, nothing interesting. Just anything, I mean, probably the most important thing is that you can see that there's always so much of space here that even if something drastic happens, like here you can see there's about maybe 50 tools taken in use at one point, that it just doesn't matter. It won't stop the town from producing. This, I mean, I got the 3000 with just one herbalist, so then I built a second one around here and a third one around here and more, so I get up the amount up. Clothing, it's actually a bit harder one. I guess I should make a new tailor also, because they just aren't, I mean, they have the material, they're just not making the new clothes quick enough, so I just need to make more of those. And the beer or alcohol again, just a good amount. Anyways, I guess that sums it up. So you can see, actually this is also a good one, because as you can see I have so many beans. That's because of the bean being pretty much the best field to have. So I mean, even if I don't have so many of bean fields here, maybe about 5 there, and maybe about 5 to 10 here again, I have so many beans because it produces them so much. I think I got pepper from the beginning, or not? No, I didn't. Okay, I don't know why I have so many of them then. Yeah. But one thing you might want to, really try to go for is the variety. Because people like it. I mean, you don't want to eat just one food in real life, so why make the people in here work like that? But anyways, I guess that's about it. I'm insane. This was the Mulgee town. Bye bye.